Team performance. At the end of the day, a lot of leaders are judged by his or her ability to get the people around them to perform. So the steps to get that high performance from your team is essential for any leader to know. So here are 4 steps that every leader should know in how to get his or her team to perform. So the first step in getting your team to perform is to have a detailed plan. And a detailed plan outlines how are we going to achieve whatever goal we're trying to achieve. There's a layout. The process is clear. The how is extremely clear to every member of the team. What we're supposed to do is clear. Then the leader has to assign every person to a particular job or role so that everybody knows which part of this plan I am responsible to execute on. Every person should have a clear job description on the area that they have to focus on. And when everybody's focused on one area in the task, things get accomplished much more efficiently. And the next part of this plan is that the leader has to hold people accountable to their jobs and to their tasks. So everybody knows what job they're supposed to do, and everybody's assigned to it, and everybody's focused on it. Now I have to hold people accountable. I have to follow up regularly on people. I have to check in on people. I have to make sure they're hitting their milestones and I'm keeping track of their progress. It is my job as a leader to hold people accountable to their jobs, and that is a part of a detailed plan. The second step in getting your team to perform at a high level is that you need to engage them. And engagement requires something that sometimes we don't have in our leadership or within our teams. It requires energy. It requires that a leader puts energy into the ways that you engage with your team. So engagement can happen in many different ways. There are meetings where we engage with our teams. There's one-on-one where we engage with our teams. There's trainings where we engage with our teams. There's different motivations that we can send them, whether it's verbally, in person, or through whatever communication methods, that we are constantly engaging our teams. The more engagement there is in a team, the more engagement from the leader to the team members and team members to one another improves the performance of a team. If you can focus on having energy in your engagements, you'll see a tremendous impact on your team members. Have that passion, have that energy in a meeting, have it in a one-on-one phone call, have it in time that you spend with your team members. Have that constantly, engage them constantly, and you will improve their performance. The third step in having teams perform at a high level is having them make decisions effectively. The more effective a team and a leader can make decisions, the stronger that performance of a team is. Because at the end of the day, all actions, all our movements as a team are based on decisions that we'll make. So here are some of the most important parts in making effective decisions. Number 1, collect as much information as possible. Hear everybody's perspective. Talk to as many experts, gather as much information, collect as much data as you can as a leader and as a team to be able to make the best decisions. Good decisions make good teams. Good teams make good organizations. Good organizations have good performance. It's all a decision-making process. If we want to make good decisions, we have to be able to have good data. After we collect data, we should then be able to map out the options and assess what are the pros and cons of each option. So for me as a leader, I hear everybody's perspective. I gathered all the data. And it's clear, for example, that there are 3 options that we can choose from. Then we need to negotiate what are the pros and cons of each one and hear from every person and go into depth on why one would be better than the other. And then we put it to consensus, we put it to a vote. And this is the last most important part of making effective decisions as a team, is that you need to decide. You need to actually choose what you're gonna do. And by the way, not making a decision is a decision. Not performing, not executing on a decision is a decision. So the team that is high performing needs to decide and commit, needs to move in that direction. And so it's important that everybody contributes to that decision. The important people executing on this particular task, that they are involved in the decision making. And when they do, they'll be more committed. And at times, as leaders, we will learn that the options or the choices or the directions that we want to move in are not the same as what our team wants to do, what our team has decided on. And that's why it's essential as a leader that when the majority decides, the leader commits. no matter what it is, no matter how heated the discussion was or how strong your opinion is that you disagree, if there is consensus within the team, then the leader needs to go with the consensus. And of course, there might be mistakes, there might be things that we learn. It might be that the leader is wrong, it might be that the team made the wrong decision. But at the end of the day, when we decide and we move forward, we will always be in a better position than never deciding and never executing. There can definitely be adjustments, we can definitely improve, we can enhance, we can learn from mistakes, but the decision-making process is an essential part of high-performing teams. And the last crucial part of high-performing teams is conflict. How do we resolve when there is conflict within the team? How do we resolve a problem? How do we resolve a situation within our team that is overwhelming us? Teams that perform best are able to quickly resolve their conflicts, overcome the problems that they're having internally within the dynamics of the group. So when it comes to resolving conflicts, one of the most important roles and jobs of a leader within a team is that first we should be able to have the mindset that conflict is an opportunity. This is a learning lesson for me and my team. This is an opportunity for us to grow, for us to mature together, for us to understand that this experience will make us a more cohesive team, a better performing team. So take on the conflict. Don't run away from it. The second is to prioritize which conflict should take most of my attention. And the most important conflicts are always the ones in between the individual team members. Things that there's an anger issue, or there's a trust issue, there's a problem, there was a fight, there was an argument, something's not resolved, somebody's holding something back. The leader must tackle that conflict before anything else. You know, a lot of times leaders are worried about the problems outside of the team, but the problems within the team can be more toxic than anything going on outside. So you have to be able to prioritize what are the conflicts and take care of them directly. Another part of conflict resolution within teams is that the leader must uncover what are the reasons behind this conflict. So if there is an issue externally or internally between people or a problem that we're trying to face, we must understand what's the root of this problem. Dig deeper. Don't take things at a surface level, particularly when it has to do with the relationships between team. Understand, why is somebody acting this way? Why are they talking this way? Why are they behaving this way? Try to dig deeper. Don't take things at a surface level, because usually conflict within teams has taken place over many days and it's built up over a long period of time. So trying to resolve something instantaneously that took a long time to develop is not the proper way in dealing with the conflict. Leaders need to dig deeper and find out what's the root of that conflict. And last but not least is that a leader and a team must be able to address the conflict. You gotta take care of it. You gotta have the answers, or else they will always stem and grow and hold the team back. Team can't move forward if it's always fighting. Team can't progress if it's always worried about the internal struggle. A leader and a team, to be effective in their performance, they have to be able to address the conflicts and move on and continue to hedge forward towards their goals and what they're trying to accomplish. And those are the parts that a leader must take on in having a high-performing team. Have a plan, engage with your team, decide effectively, and resolve conflicts. If you are able to execute on these 4 things as a leader, you're able to take your team to new heights.